Which raccoon you rock with the most? Alexander the Great Magician, prominent member of the Shadow Wizard Money Gang. Joel has a gambling addiction. Rocket, professional drunk driver. Luna, rocket without the driving. Bubbles, master of violence. Harold, master of drip.
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Tuesday, June 6th, 2023. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, back from covering the NBA Finals in Denver, it's Tass Mellis.
Podcast listeners, this is for you.
Over yonder, making the magic happen, super producer, JD.
Hello.
There he is! And here we are, the bearded one, Trey Kirby. He is in Miami for games 3 and 4 later this week, so make sure you stay up to date with all of the content him and Jerome are pumping out across the social media channels. We're talking YouTube Shorts, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Do we put things to Facebook anymore? No one's even sure.
That's such a good feeling we don't.
I think it automatically goes there.
It does, from the IG.
But no one goes to Facebook. So if you do, cool, but we're not actively over there commenting with people. But yes, TK's on the road, and we're going to talk to Tass a little bit later in this podcast, obviously, about your trip.
Yeah, you guys did a great job here holding it down.
We tried.
Yeah, it was great.
Looked like you had some fun, though.
Absolutely. Denver was great.
Yeah, you said you just love the people. You kept saying that on Playback. That's nice to hear.
Damn, they're nice.
And it's all high.
And no, not at all. They're just super nice. It's not like fake Toronto nice. I mean, people in Toronto are great.
Yeah.
But it's like you think, oh, Canadian hospitality. But in Toronto, big city, you know, everybody's a little. It's like head down. Let's do our thing.
Yeah.
It's like smaller town. It's like going to Moose Jaw, Saskatoon. Not quite, but a bigger city.
Okay.
It's super.
I believe you.
Super nice.
It is on my bucket list of American cities I want to visit for sure. To get into Denver.
That's a good move.
See how I deal with the altitude. You said you had no problems until the mountain biking. We'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it a little bit later, but I can see what happened to the heat. Like everybody was saying, it takes 1 to 3 days. Yeah. It's legitimate.
Okay.
Not that I am not the example of why it's legitimate, but I guess it's true.
Shout out to the stream team joining us live right now on YouTube. We love to see that. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe, comment away, and go get your No Dunks merch over at nodunks.com. Yeah, we will get into the Denver report, and we got to hear your takeaways from games 1 and 2 of the finals so far, and game 3 coming up on Wednesday night. But here I was thinking we were going to have a pretty chill day here in the Classic Factory. You know, there's a bit of a gap between games 2 and 3. Not a lot going on. Oh, we'd have to get creative, come up with a segment, maybe hit the beach, answer a few questions. And no. Yesterday, according to Shams, our guy at The Athletic, Mavericks star Kyrie Irving has reached out to his former teammate LeBron James in an attempt to see if that Lakers legend would come to Dallas. Now, Bleacher Report's Chris Haynes, he went one step further. He wrote that the Mavs were preparing to make an offer for LeBron last season when the Lakers were spiraling. Or, I mean, really, this season, you know what I mean. LA, though, made a string of trades near the deadline, changed the trajectory of their season, got them all the way to the conference finals. So, yeah, Kyrie decided to say, nah, you're not having a quiet day. We're going to make some news for you. There are a lot of questions that spin off of this. I guess the first one, could the Mavericks actually pull off a LeBron trade? Do you believe this is realistic at all? Like, what percentage would you put it at?
Yeah, I'd say it's about 2%.
Okay, I think that might be high, but yeah.
Yeah, it might be a little high. I mean, I started at 1%. I guess there's the small possibility that the that the Lakers would really, really, really want to rebuild. And the 2 first-round picks that the Mavs have to offer, the number 10 pick here and a 2027 unprotected pick, could be a bit of a starter. That's why I bumped it from 0.00 to 2 over the last while that I've thought about it. But you said it's a Kyrie call to Shams.
Sure feels like it.
Well, there's a possibility that it's also a LeBron call to Kyrie and them both having this conversation, because I think it could benefit both as a leverage play.
Okay, go on.
Because LeBron came off the floor after he was swept by the Denver Nuggets and said, I might retire. And that automatically puts a little bit more pressure on Pelinka. And I think this could be another step. This just could be another step that, hey, Kyrie, I'm going to give you a call. let's have this conversation. You put it out there, you tell Shams that you want me in Dallas.
Okay.
That benefits you and makes it look like you want to stay there and sign for the max.
Yes.
And it benefits me because I put more pressure on the front office. Because I do think this is a hand-in-hand kind of deal here. Now,
But what's the end game? To get Kyrie to LA?
That would be fantastic. Or just upgrading the roster. I don't think it's necessarily 100% Kyrie to LA, but just to get the team better around him, to go for a freaking championship. Well, this is LeBron's last chance. LeBron is a very, 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 very good player. He's turning 39 in December. He's he's pulling all the levers. I think it goes hand in hand.
Interesting. I guess I can squint and see what you're saying. I mean, the part of getting Kyrie to LA to pair with him and AD, yeah. I don't think LeBron necessarily needs to like call up Kyrie and say, hey man, leak this to Shams and Haynes to benefit me to put pressure on the Lakers. I mean, I don't...
Well, why do you want to go into next year with the same team if you're LeBron? You're not winning. You just showed. You need another move. You need another move.
Yeah.
LeBron clearly wants Austin Reeves there. I think that he has made it clear that he wants to upgrade the roster. So any way possible. LeBron's a brilliant mind. I think that's part of it. Because if it's just from the Kyrie side to get him to, maybe he called. And maybe he called Shams to tell.
Well, hold on. Somebody leaked this information. Is it Kyrie and his team? Is it LeBron and his team? Is it them together? Is it someone else? Because Shams and Chris Haynes release it at the exact same time. So it's obviously presented to these guys.
Yes, 100%. Right? No, it's real.
Yeah.
I 100% believe the Shams point of view. I saw Shams in Denver. We had a great handshake.
Nice.
Always a great bro handshake with Shams. He didn't tell me about this rumor whatsoever.
No.
But yeah, I do think this is entirely real. But do you think that it's possible that LeBron James could be wearing a Mavs jersey?
No.
The package is not good.
What would they even trade? Like, try and talk yourself into anything the Mavericks could offer in a LeBron trade. It's probably starting with Tim Hardaway Jr. and his contract, Davis Bertans in his contract, maybe Christian Wood in a sign-and-trade, young players and Hardy, Josh Green, and then these picks that you said that aren't even all that amazing. We're talking about the 10th pick in this year's draft and then a future. I know he's turning 39. It is still LeBron James here. That doesn't sound all that interesting to me. Like, why would the Lakers do that?
Yeah, why would the Lakers do that?
And then the whole part of this is
because he's still a great player. You're still getting 2 good years at least.
Right. And then there is this sort of, I feel like it's a bit of an insane theory floating around that LeBron could orchestrate a buyout and try and get his way to Dallas that way. He has 1 year, $46.9 million left on his contract, also holds a $50.6 million player option for the 24-25 season. So there's you could get crazy that way, but that would be taking an insane pay cut to, again, try and get himself to Dallas. And why would he want to go there? They didn't even make the play-in. Here's the whole other part of this. Do you think a team, LeBron, Kyrie, and Luka, with basically nothing else because of the new CBA coming in, so that's going to be very difficult, like, is that like a championship team to you? I don't think so.
It depends what they have around them. They still need more players.
Yeah.
So, no. But you mentioned a couple things there. The buyout part, where Dallas still would have to have that number, LeBron's 46.9 next year, on their salary cap. So it's not just, he gets bought out for some nominal fee, like $1 million, and you just throw him in there like he's a vet minimum.
Right.
Like, it has to work on the books. So there's that part of it. It's unlikely. I started with that 2% number. I take it back. I mean, it really doesn't make sense. I think the draft picks is where it's most interesting to the Lakers if they want to rebuild. It's highly unlikely. It's just the purple and gold. Do you see them ever trying to rebuild when you do have Anthony Davis on the roster? I mean, it would mean like tearing it down. And I take the 2% back because you can probably get better draft picks out there. Right. Like you said, number 10 pick right now, an unconditional 2027 first-round pick, I guess, would be the big part of it. They're just lucky. And it's probably all planned that they're doing this here where there's 2 off days in between games 2 and 3 where we can talk about it. And everybody's talking about it because we got a little break here. It's just, it doesn't make sense.
why would LeBron also want to leave LA? I mean, if he's got it set up pretty nice right now with Bronny obviously playing, 2.5 miles away from where he plays. You could, in theory, watch all his games at USC. Now, I know you could take a private jet if you were in Dallas or any other city for that matter and fly home and see him play and all that, but he's got it set up pretty nice. Obviously, the contract, the team that did go to the conference finals after making nice moves, Pelinka did moves at the deadline to help his team.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the part I don't really understand too.
I totally hear you. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. He would still probably keep his base if this happened.
Yeah.
Still keep the home in LA. But he would miss out on a lot of things, even if this was a 1 year, 2 year, him flying back and forth all the time. So yeah, it seems more likely as we get into this that it would be Kyrie going to LA somehow.
Right. And so then why this leak? How does that help his chances? Is it the idea of, get that max contract? By all reports, and I guess he's coming out now and saying, I am staying in Dallas. I think Mark Stein actually is reporting that, the plan is to still sign a max or at least very close to a max deal to stay in Dallas. And that he's, for whatever reason, a week after Kyrie said, hey, all you fans, stop listening to the media. Stop listening to what they're saying about me. He said this on IG Live on May 24th. Quote, I'm a free agent this summer, but I am in no rush to make a decision. When these media personalities speak on my name, they're talking about potential teams that I'm going to. Can y'all please, respectfully, I'm asking you, stop paying attention to that. And then, a week plus later, it feels like maybe telling some of these media personalities, go ahead and speak on my name. But make sure it's clear that I ain't leaving Dallas. I'm getting LeBron to come here because I want that reunion. Because that is no secret that these two want to team up. LeBron said as much around the deadline when there was possibilities of LA being the trade partner for the Nets to get Kyrie.
Even in the preseason of last summer.
Right.
That was clear. He wanted him there. And I think they both know. And that's why I think it could be from both sides that what they have in their respective rosters isn't enough. We just saw it with LA. I mean, you need, and it's especially true with Dallas, you need another big piece. So is this Kyrie's way of trying to get somebody to Dallas or just trying to get the heck out after he gets his max deal? Because he wants that. Because that's when he initiated his out from Brooklyn, when they didn't offer him that max extension. He said, all right, I'm done. He played for a while after the suspension. He thought he earned the max extension. It didn't happen, so he told Sean Marks, I'm done. He wants that max deal. And so the only place he's going to get that is in Dallas.
Right, because he is an unrestricted free agent. The Lakers could open up cap space, decent cap space, but not max-type money cap space, to just sign Kyrie Irving. He could go and play with LeBron in LA is what I'm getting at, if he wants to take a discount. If he really wants to play with his buddy LeBron, and they've mended those fences from way back in the day when he was the little brother and then obviously went on his own way.
Yeah.
He could, but if he wants that max deal, maybe if we want to talk this out, the play here is he obviously wants to sign a max with the Dallas Mavericks. And by leaking this information and saying, I'm trying to get LeBron to come to Dallas, that then LeBron gets to turn around to, let's say, Pelinka, to Genie, to the Lakers front office and say, well, hold on, I'm not going to Dallas. Let's just get his ass here. Operate a sign and trade. Let's go. Go trade for Kyrie. Then it's me, it's Kyrie, it's AD. Some pieces, we'll go win you another chip. I mean, maybe that's the play here. I don't know. Maybe this is just Kyrie talking out of his ass and just saying, what would be great? Hey, playing with my buddy LeBron. Can we do that? Then suddenly Draymond Green's in Photoshops. He's going to be there too, and everybody's going to be there.
And so if Kyrie signs, let's just keep going with this facetious idea.
Okay.
So if Kyrie signs in Dallas for the max deal and LA thinks, okay, all right, let's get him. What are the pieces that they have to send back to Dallas?
Right. Well, that's the problem here.
So Austin Reeves would have to be signed.
Sure. Okay.
And be a part of that. That would probably be the biggest piece. They still have a first-round pick that they could deal. Those are the two biggest pieces. I guess he signed Rui, and that's a part of it as well. So the Mavs basically, they gave up what they had to give up to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And the Spencer and Dorian Finney-Smith plus a first-round pick. And then they turn around and maybe make that Reeves and Rui and another first-round pick.
What does that say to Luka?
Yeah,
It's not great
it's
GMing,
not great.
I would say.
No.
Not that it went well when Kyrie came there. Obviously finished, 5-11.
But there's
out.
there's still a higher ceiling with Kyrie, I would say.
Right.
Than Austin Reeves and Rui. Good players.
Yes.
But not a superstar player. So, maybe he was just talking. Maybe it's a leverage play from LeBron, I think, as well. I think that's fair to say. I guess the other crazy angle is Kyrie could sign for basically nothing to go play with LeBron.
Yeah.
Like a very, very small deal. You know, if you want to go and think, maybe Kyrie's not long for this league. Like, he'll play another few years and then be done. If you want to go that angle, like, he's just not going to play forever. But he wants a max deal, I think. So I think you can kind of throw that idea out. Like, he's going to go Ricky Williams here and say, another year and I'm done, or something to that effect. Like, he wants that max money, and the way the salary caps work, it's just very unlikely.
Yeah, well, that would be really strange if suddenly after this news leaks, Kyrie saying, hey, I'm a max guy here in Dallas, I'm going to try and get LeBron here, to then suddenly turn around and go, you know what, I'm taking a super discount and just go to LA. I mean, that's maximum chaos. That's what this guy likes.
Yeah. There are no logics.
Weird.
There's no logic left.
No. Well, okay.
The logics are gone. I'm pluralizing it. There's nothing off the table anymore when it comes to Kyrie and this whole scenario.
Let's ask this cue from the Lakers side of things. Do you even think they should want Kyrie Irving?
I think so. Why not?
Why not? Are you serious? I have to run through why not? If you want a clown show, a reality show, I guess.
They showed that with LeBron, they can't win right now.
Well, first off, they went pretty far. They were one of the 4 remaining teams at the end, so not bad.
It's not bad. It's not a championship.
But we've seen a couple times now, especially when Kyrie... I guess you could say, well, hey, when he was with LeBron, it worked. True. They won a chip. But, yeah, all of the reasons, and I'm not even going to sit here and go through them all. Obviously, what he did with the Celtics organization. Obviously, convincing Kevin Durant to come join him in Brooklyn. That doesn't last all that long, go all that well. And then even in Dallas, he played well. I'll give him that, but they obviously struggled. It's not like they were winning a lot of games. And all of the other reasons that, all the other, whatever you want to call it, baggage, headlines, whatever, that comes with him. That's the reason why not.
Yeah, I get it.
So,
but things seem to be a little bit more streamlined, a little less chaotic when LeBron is heading the locker room.
Yes, yeah.
So,
and maybe LeBron's thinking as a producer here, because a lot of people think that whole, hey, I might be retiring comment at the end of the Western Conference Finals was just for his show that he's filming. Hey, bring Kyrie in. It's like bringing in a crazy, zany character. It's like, this would be great. This would be great for the documentary. You'll be able to show a lot of footage of them back in the Cleveland days, how they've changed, there's growth.
That's smart.
So maybe he's looking at it that way.
He's EPing this thing. Yeah, totally. I could see that. Yeah, he's pulling all the levers. Yeah, I think LeBron is making the calls here as well. Sure, it could just be Kyrie just off the cuff. He ends his IG live. Okay, end recording. Are you sure you want to end this recording? Yes. And then he calls somebody and says,
"Hey, Sean,
oh,
hey,
yeah.
Chris.
Oh, yeah, you know what I just said? I don't like that. I want a max deal. So let me throw that out there. I'm already recruiting. People want to come here.
Right.
So that's his play. But
that's his leverage play a little bit?
Yeah, but maybe him and LeBron are in cahoots, because I do think this is a bit of a leverage play for Bron as well, that he just needs to keep pushing on Pelinka to hopefully get Kyrie there. But the Mavs and the Lakers, it's risky, yeah. And I quickly say, yeah, why wouldn't the Lakers want him there? Well, part of it is they showed that they weren't good enough. And yeah, maybe Austin Reeves grows a little bit if they sign him and all that. But Kyrie's a quicker way. I mean, he is a great player.
Okay, so, call your shot here. How does this play out? Does anything happen at all? Is Kyrie signing the max? He's at the, with Luka at the start of next season. LeBron's in LA. Or is there Kyrie in LA, somehow LeBron making his way to Dallas, someone else? What do you think?
I'd love for there to be chaos. I'd love for LeBron's show to take another step, to go to the next level, but it's unlikely. Cube's just traded for Kyrie, as you said. It would really destabilize the relationship with Luka to trade Kyrie. It just wouldn't be a good look.
Right.
Wouldn't make Luka feel all that great. So I think you just sign that contract with Kyrie when they made the trade for him. They knew that this was...
You think it was a bit of a handshake deal?
Well,
I mean, maybe it was a bit of a trial run, see how he would behave.
Yeah.
Play.
The Mavs' backs are against the wall. They have nothing left to trade, as we're talking about here. They have to sign Kyrie. Mm-hmm. When they made that deal, it wasn't just a rental. And now they have the 10th pick after their little tank at the end of the season. And here we are. So as far as the Lakers go, it's just unlikely. Yeah, we've talked about it. I've gone from 2% likelihood to not much. So they would why would they trade LeBron?
What's so funny about this, like this headline and us breaking it down here for obviously 20 minutes, it's like you have to catch yourself and remember the Mavericks weren't in the play-in tournament. And it was the Lakers that obviously went pretty far in the playoffs, where it feels like this is the reverse, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like as if the Mavs of 2 years ago were in the conference finals, and they're going, hey, LeBron, look at the team here. You come here, one more chance at another ring. But it's like the better chances in LA for LeBron is what I get back to when I started this idea of like, let's say it even happened. LeBron, Luka, and Kyrie, do we really think that's a title contender right away? There's like zero rim protection. The defense is a huge question mark. Offense, sure, but we've seen that not work already in Brooklyn.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah, you have Anthony Davis beside you, who is
right.
A different kind of player rather than 3 ball handlers. But it still would be good. I mean, they did it, like you said, 7 years ago. It was LeBron and Kyrie made it happen. They did have some shooters and grinders around them.
Yes.
So it was a little different, and LeBron was a little bit younger. But Cubes does it in a heartbeat if he can.
Yeah, hell yeah. Shark Tank, baby.
Yeah, right.
Make me a deal. Well, let's hear from you guys out there. What do you think about all of this Kyrie and LeBron reunion? Is it in Dallas? Is this a play for somehow Kyrie to get to LA? Is this LeBron thinking something else? Is he just producing his show? Where does Draymond Green fit into all of this? Let us know. A little bit of other news here off of something we talked about yesterday. Got a couple more names that are committing to Team USA. Brandon Ingram, Jaren Jackson Jr. are going to be with Team USA for the FIBA World Cup here in the summer. So just to break it down, here's who we know. Guards, Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton, Jalen Brunson, Austin Reeves. Forwards, Mikal Bridges, Brandon Ingram, Bobby Portis. And center, just one right now, Jaren Jackson Jr. I think that's 8 guys, and that would leave 4 remaining spots. If these 8 names are like on the team, I'm a little confused by that. Is that what this is? Like, are these 8 guys going? Or is it like, see you at camp type thing, and you'll probably be on the team because you've committed? Do you know the answer to that?
I don't.
Yeah,
it's a solid squad, but
it's good.
It doesn't have the superstar level players.
No, there's no KD or Booker or Tatum or Dame or maybe even Draymond for vet defensive presence. But I think he's talked about maybe playing. Jimmy, I guess, Bam.
Yeah, there's so many good ones out there. So you throw out Jaren Jackson Jr. in this situation. Like, guys like that, this would be an incredible team. Jaren Jackson Jr. short line. When there's not as much room out there, he would be blocking everything defensively. So, yeah, this team looks good, but isn't it a camp? Isn't it always a camp? You got to kind of make the squad.
Well, I guess so. Guess so, but I'm also reading this as like these guys are sort of on the team. Because why wouldn't we know another 20 names? Right?
Yeah, I agree with you on that, and especially because we don't have the breadth of like superstar players here, and your grinder, not your grinder types, but your like even your guys that just aren't going to make the team.
Mm-hmm, right.
Like your Keldon Johnsons or that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So it does make it sound more like this is what we got for the World Cup. This is going to be the squad, and
with 4 spots left.
Yeah, not quite done. Well, they have to bring more than 12 even, right? Like, there's got to be some guys in camp.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm excited for the World Cup.
Yeah. I was thinking, yesterday, and I checked to make sure I was right. Sort of weird. Steph Curry's never played on a gold medal Team USA. Olympics. I should say Olympics. He played on a couple earlier in his career FIBA World Cups. He won gold, 2010 and 14, I think. But never played on a Team USA. Part of that was injury.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
It is weird.
That's just going to be a strange thing that he doesn't have. Maybe he will in, where are we playing next? Paris? Maybe he will be on a team. But I don't know. It's just funny to me. Because all these other guys of like the greatest of all time, they have one, if not way more than one, gold medals from the Olympics. But yeah, he doesn't. Strange. Filling it out with those names that I said, like Ant, Halliburton, Brunson, Reeves, Bridges, Ingram, Portis, and then Triple J. Like, what? Need another center? You think they could use a star or two? At least a guy that's been on this squad before. Like,
it would be nice.
Yeah.
So I'm a little puzzled why there isn't a superstar committed.
Well, maybe they're still playing in the finals. Two of them particularly, and Bam and Jimmy. I feel like Bam will be on this team.
Feels like
And I do remember reports of Draymond flirting with the idea of playing.
And I guess there is the possibility of just, as you said, sort of about Steph taking this year off because it has, it's back-to-back years and playing next year in the Olympics.
Oh, yeah, right. It's next year, the Olympics?
Aren't they? 2024? Things got jumbled up.
Holy crap. Is that right? Yeah, I think you are right.
Things got jumbled because of COVID. Things
Where the
got
heck were
pushed
the last
back.
Olympics, Summer Olympics? Why am I drawing a blank? It was Rio.
It was in Asia, wasn't it? It was.
Oh, was it? Rio was 16?
Yeah.
And then
It was the really.
Pyeongchang? Is that right?
This.
I'll look it up. Now it's driving me nuts. Tokyo.
Yeah.
Tokyo.
Yeah. I was going to because they kept calling it. It was they continuously called it the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, even though they played in 2021, right?
Oh, COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pushed it back. Yeah.
That's why we're all confused. Okay, okay. So we'll see who gets those 4 remaining spots, and if those 8 names that I listed are even like, are they on the team? Are they locked? Like, is Austin Reeves going to the Philippines to play in the FIBA World Cup? We're not sure.
Yeah, and the World Cup back. It's Japan, Indonesia, and the Philippines.
That's true. I say all 3. I guess maybe Team USA is in the Philippines.
Is it?
I think that's where they're stationed for the first part.
JIP.
Yeah, that's right.
When you want to remember it, it's easy to remember that way.
All right, let's take our first break. When we come back, some NBA Finals talk. Don't you worry, Michael Malone. Okay? We'll get into Tass's takeaways from the series so far and get the Denver report. Don't go anywhere.
In the NBA, it's the postseason, but in the world, it's wedding season. And between the flights, the hotels, and the gifts, it can get pretty pricey. But looking sharp all wedding season shouldn't be expensive. With a custom-fitted suit from Indochino, you'll create priceless memories without costing a fortune. But it's not just the fit that's custom with Indochino. You get to customize every detail of your suit, shirt, or dinner jacket. And they come in a range of colors, from a more traditional black and gray to something more adventurous, like burgundy or olive, or this wild, bright orange linen suit I saw in Indochino this morning.
Ooh.
I mean, it looks very Lloyd Christmas. I'll say that.
Okay.
But I would love the chance to try and pull it off.
And Miami would be the place to wear it.
Does Indochino do rush orders?
Sure.
1 hour rush orders? I'll come and stop by and grab one. Because every suit is made to your exact measurements and details, so you can create a suit that fits you and your style perfectly, with options for fabrics, lapel shape, custom monograms, statement linings, and more. They're always adding new pieces and options, so you can stay on trend and in style. RSVP knowing you've got the perfect look all wedding season long from Indochino. Go to Indochino.com and use code NODUNKS to get 10% off any purchase of $399 or more. That's INDOCHINO.com, promo code NODUNKS.
As the weather gets warmer, and that for sure is happening here in the South, Bombas is inviting you to get outside and find your outer piece in socks, underwear, and t-shirts you can effortlessly move and relax in all season long. Bombas makes thoughtfully designed, better basics that keep you feeling your best. On the trail, at the park, chilling in your own backyard, chilling in your neighbor's backyard. Pool party was a huge success over the weekend, guys. Saw some fire dancers, or twirlers, as I always do this when I talk about people with fire in their hands. Every item is seamless, tagless, and effortlessly soft. Their no-show socks, personal favorite of mine. They're made with breathable yarns for a barely there feel, plus silicone grips and a contour design to prevent slipping down or sliding around. They keep my feet cool and comfortable, and I suffer from hot foot syndrome.
HFS.
Oh, yes. My dogs, they get hot. Not in these socks. Check this out. Bombas. 100% happiness guarantee means you're covered for life. Reach out anytime to their happiness team for easy returns, exchanges, or replacements. That'd be a fun sort of title to put on a resume. What do you do? I'm part of the happiness team at Bombas.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool. Also, socks, underwear, and t-shirts. They are the number 1, 2, and 3 most requested items in homeless shelters. So that's why for every comfy item you purchase, Bombas donates another comfy item to someone in need. Love that. So far, Bombas has donated over 100 million items, and each purchase adds to that impact. So go to bombas.com/nodunks and use the code NODUNKS, all one word, for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/NODUNKS. Use the code NODUNKS at checkout. Bombas.com/NODUNKS. Code NODUNKS. Very, very simple. All right, if you're joining us live on YouTube, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. If you're a podcast listener, please leave us a 5-star rating and review. Helps others find the show. As I said off the top, Tassie just got back from Denver, where you were covering games 1 and 2 of the NBA Finals. So we haven't had a chance to get your real takeaways from the Heat Nuggets so far when we get into the actual X's and O's and what's happened through 2 games with this series tied at 1 game apiece. What do you got? What are the big takeaways?
Well, yeah, I've had an itch that I couldn't scratch, really, because I didn't really get the chance to talk about the games. Just joining you guys on Playback during the games, from the seats there. And I think you have to start through the first 2 games just talking about how great the Heat are, how incredible the Heat are, because in that arena and in the city of Denver, there was a feeling starting to bubble, and myself included, that this Mavs team, this Nuggets team, was unbeatable in a way. And that was starting to permeate in the media there. They're writing things like plan the parade route, but the Heat are phenomenal. And I don't think the Nuggets disrespected the Heat by any means.
No.
They're all business. But I think a guy like Michael Porter Jr. may have been starting to like the smell of his own stuff there, and going from game 1, where he was the story and he was an incredible defensive player, played the most minutes of his entire season because he was so good and because the Heat started small. It made more sense. He had a lousy game 2, just trying to overshoot, and also defensively. Yeah. And that's where the
He was lost.
He was. The Heat made him pay. And Spoelstra did a great job of getting his guys like Strus, who MPJ had a big responsibility on, getting him loose. I mean, and the Heat just... So I said I was going to start talking about the Heat, and then I started talking about the Nuggets. The Heat just didn't stop, baby. That was incredible. Okay, we all knew.
People thought the Heat's Cinderella run was over. They were going to turn back into a pumpkin. And a part of it because they were playing in the Nuggets, who looked like they had just run through the Western Conference, just swept LeBron and the Lakers, had never lost at home.
Hadn't lost at home.
I mean, had the best player in the series.
Still do.
Yeah, and that was a big reason why, this team. You're right. People were like, forget this team might win the title. It was like, we might have a new dynasty on our hands with Jokic and Murray and those two. And hey, we still might. It's 1-1. But yeah, the Heat reminded us, Spo and that squad, slow down. No, we do this every series so far, where you count us out before it's even started, or if we're trailing, and we're gonna put up a fight. And they were awesome in game 2.
They were awesome, and we knew coming out they would be great. Okay, sure. First quarter run, of course that's going to happen. So they're up 10-2, and then the threes rain down in the second quarter, and it looks like the Nuggets have control after that crazy start to the second quarter. I was sitting beside people in press row just doing the math. Like, how many points have they scored here to start the second quarter? But then the Heat show how tough they are. The third quarter run, where they had 13 points at the beginning of that quarter in the first 3 minutes, so it's got even closer. Okay, so you had a punch from one side, punch from the other, punch from the Heat, and then the last punch was really Duncan Robinson, and that fourth quarter run, 13 points in 2+ minutes to start the fourth quarter. So this team that people don't think can score, put Porter and KCP who I lump in with Porter having a bad game because it's weird to see KCP foul out and
fouling 3-point shooters.
Yeah, so that was bad.
Mistakes.
A lot of bad defensive possessions to start the game. Just leaving Strus open a couple times, so got him going after his horrible game. 4 threes for him in the first quarter. They start to get life. The Love move, where they just started playing faster even because outlet passes were happening. So they were just incredibly smart. I just can't wait to see if the Nuggets get their guys back playing properly, and I imagine they will. Because Jamal Murray got up before the first game in this series and said, the two teams left here have the best chemistry. And it feels that way. But it feels like the Nuggets lost their chemistry just a touch because it seemed like they were invincible at home. And to see their first loss at home, sitting there, everybody was a little befuddled to see them allow these open shooters. And it was smart again for Spoelstra to get so much action with these guys. Is it anything that KCP and Michael Porter Jr. missed their post-game media obligations after Game 2? Probably not. I don't think this team is falling apart. Apparently, the NBA okayed it in both situations. They have to go through some sort of protocol. So, I don't think Michael Porter Jr. just walked away and said, F this, I'm pissed. I think they will be back. But the Heat, 17 for 35 from 3 in the second game, could have been even worse. There was open looks that they missed.
Yeah.
And so they've got to feel incredible. Like the Heat scoring 7 straight possessions to start the fourth. I know nobody wants to just narrative say the Heat score points, but like the numbers say, they score a lot of points.
Especially in the postseason, for sure, when you had the 3-point shooting. Did the arena think the Nuggets were going up 2-0 and maybe walking towards their first championship when they had that compost crew run there in the second quarter?
I think so.
And the place was going nuts, and the lead built to 15, and it felt like they were going to win the game. People on Playback were saying it was a wrap. Did the arena?
I guess so. Yeah, and I think maybe the players did to some degree. I know they kept playing, but I think everybody thought that. Okay, we saw what happened in Game 1. It just seemed like they had too much talent, so they were able to fend off every single run, and it seemed like they did it again. First quarter run, second quarter, boom. And
Jokic was on the bench for a good portion of that.
And I did want to ask you about a Jokic angle that the press has been talking about. Jokic, everybody's starting to realize how great he is throughout the NBA media world, throughout the NBA world that wasn't watching Denver Nuggets games.
Sports world maybe.
So if they were to do it in 4 or 5, I still don't think Jokic, because he didn't have to go through any trials and tribulations through the series, would get enough of the notoriety. I think it had to go a little bit longer. That's what we were talking about up there. There would be a quick dismissal, from casual fans, if Jokic was able to do it in 4 or 5.
Okay.
They would just say, "Oh, this Heat team was an 8 seed. They weren't good enough to get there." I think this actually helps if the Nuggets can pull it out. The Jokic story, the Jokic, the superstar arc, I guess. I think it helps. I think there's just more written about it. I think the Heat are considered a little bit more legitimate because they do it. I think if he was to sweep, even if it was 4 or 5, let's say, even if it was easier, I don't think it's as good for his storyline. Because
so you think this is actually better as long as Jokic and the Nuggets go on to win if it's a longer series, a 6 or 7 type series, and a fight, a battle.
Yeah, I think it's better for his arc. I think it would, we've seen.
I can see why you're saying that, because if they had swept, let's say, or even 5, if they had won or could win in 5, that could still happen.
Yes.
The Nuggets would have what, a 16-4 record in the postseason? That's damn good.
That's great.
That's really good. But you think it gets overlooked maybe because of all the seedings, the teams they played and whatnot.
Well,
part of that.
The finals, especially.
Yeah,
I mean, we are where we are. If you don't think Jokic is a superstar player, I mean, you're just never going to think that. But I think if the Heat were to extend it, to 6 or to 7, and the Nuggets were to still win, I think that would help. We've seen sweeps in the past where it doesn't get enough coverage outside the basketball world. This would help. This would help make him become more of a household name if they were to get to 6 games. Yeah, because people would just dismiss the Heat part. Of course, he's played a bunch of superstars. He just knocked off LeBron, AD, and KD, and Booker.
Yeah.
But it's got to happen in the finals too, to register more with the casual fan. I think it would help.
Interesting.
It would help. So,
well, look,
anyway.
It's good for us. We want more games.
It's great
we
for
want
us.
more eyeballs. We want more storylines. We want competitive games at that.
Yeah,
And so,
just to watch a series.
I mean, I was pumped when the Heat won game 2, for sure. Because, yeah, if the Nuggets had continued that second quarter wave and ran away with that game, oh boy, we'd had a long week. It would have been like, can Miami take game 3 and make it a series and all that? But it would have been a lot of like, we're just waiting for the inevitable of when the Nuggets win the title. How many games will it take? Is it a sweep? Will it be 5? Now it's completely different. It is. And, I mean, if you're still doubting the Miami Heat to win a couple more games, I don't know what to tell you. Like, they are a great team. They're the best coach team. They're going to try things. They have vets, even putting Love in there. That helps. Obviously, Lowry, I thought, had a great fourth quarter. He makes his boneheaded mistakes from time to time, but he had a great two-man game with Bam, as I talked about yesterday. So, yeah, they could. 100%. I still think the Nuggets are going to win the series in 6, but yeah, man. Go ahead. Bet against the Heat. Like, you'll probably lose. You've lost a lot if you've done that this postseason.
Yeah. Gabe Vincent said after game 2, we have a lot of experience in these close games. When it comes to the last few minutes, we're strangely comfortable. And
they've won
they're not going
44
anywhere.
games this season when it's within 5 points.
Exactly.
44. That is an insane amount of games that they've won. Not been in, won.
Yeah, well, you can make a story out of a bunch of things that happened in game 1. You could say that the Nuggets still smacked the Heat after not playing well themselves. You can point to a bunch of stats here, and you can say, well, the Heat won in game 2 without Jimmy Butler really feeling all that great. But I do think this is a tough team for Jimmy Butler to play against, number one, just with all the height. They are outsized at every position, essentially. That's why Love goes back into the starting lineup. But I just think you just throw all that stupid stuff out. I mean, this Heat team is just not going away. They're just not going away on every possession. And I don't know if it's the Nuggets just started to smell their own stuff a little bit with the way they just didn't pay attention to everything defensively.
Yeah, they were undisciplined. I mean,
yeah.
Malone said that after the game.
It's true.
And so what's the reason? Is that because of, I mean, it's everything, right? It's how the Heat played,
Yes.
changing things up and getting shots and ball movement and body movement and all that. Yes,
Yeah.
but it might be a little bit of sort of like checking out a little bit, especially the Michael Porter Jr. of it all. And this is my only concern if you're a Nuggets fan of like, you can't lose this guy. Like, I mean, Malone can't lose him, but you also can't play him if he's like off in La La Land out there. Mm-hmm. So there's got to be some tough love, and I'm sure Malone's talking to him, and I'm sure the staff is talking to him, and like, hey man, we need you back. We need you blocking those shots. We need you locked in.
Yeah.
Don't worry, your shot will come. I mean, the guy's never going to become like, Jason Kidd out there in terms of playmaking or Jokic, but we had some open guys, man. You kick it to the corner, Murray hits a 3. You kick it inside. We had 3 Nuggets. There's that one screen grab where he's like taking a fadeaway jumper, and there's like 3 Nuggets players looking at him like you could pass it to any one of them, and you would have had a layup. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a genuine worry with Michael Porter Jr.
So you had Nuggets at 5.
I had Nuggets in 5.
Would you be changing that?
I should.
Yeah. But you're not.
I don't know.
You son of a bitch.
This is the biggest adversity, that whatever you want to call it, the biggest test here for the Nuggets. Even though they were tied at 2-2 with the Phoenix Suns and they went home and took care of business. First time they're tied on the road. So this is a big test.
Game 3, Wednesday night. We'll be on Playback, but we'll get to that in a second. You were in Denver for a while. Mm-hmm. We've talked to you a little bit here and there, especially on Playback, about some of your highlights and a lot of the stuff you shared on social. The mountain biking being a personal favorite of mine. Yeah. Did you have any stories you want to share from your time in Denver?
Well, I got some points here. I just want all the fans, including Steve, who I went biking with, that were out there, that came to say what's up. Just great stuff. Had one person, his name was Julian, while Jerome and I were eating at this market, comes by and says, I'm literally listening to you guys right now, and I saw you guys, so I had to come talk to you. That was pretty cool. At the arena, saw a fan named Nick who was very excited, although he spelled Jerome's last name wrong in his tweet. So how big of a fan is he? No, I'm kidding.
What do you call him? White Dragon Roll?
No, I know his last name was spelled wrong. But anyway, some people just don't spell all that well. And then we saw a fan right by the arena who saw Jerome's credential that said The Athletic. He goes, "Oh, I read Fred Katz, the Knicks beat writer at The Athletic. He's great." And then he looked at me and said, "You're on TV?" I said, "Yeah, you're a huge
Sort
fan."
of.
Yeah, you were on TV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he knew that we were on TV, past tense. So then he
You didn't
asked,
think you were Mike Vorkanoff or something like that?
"Nah,
Who do you most look like at The Athletic?
at The Athletic."
I don't know. I was scrambling to
That was a
come
tough
up with
one.
someone. Yeah,
Anyway,
you tell us.
anyways, yeah, it was fun. Shout out to the fans there. And I will say, just as from a fan standpoint, is this a basketball city? I think it's fair to say they have a hardcore fan base, but it's not the biggest sport.
Right. But they're a sports city.
They're a sports city, baby.
Yeah,
They're an outdoorsy city.
Yeah.
Like, if you remember, former Sonics head coach George Karl would always say about the Sonics fan base that these people like to be outdoors. They're never going to come in an arena and cheer for our team. Denver is an outdoorsy city.
Build a dome. A retractable dome.
Yeah, and then you're outdoors.
Yeah. Nice nights in Denver. Open it up. Be sick.
Make the seats out of grass, so it's like if you're sitting on
Touch
the
grass while you're watching the game. Sure.
Yeah, like those flip-flops now that are grass on the bottom.
Yes,
It's like you're walking on grass. Wow, that's exciting. It's a nice feeling. But anyway,
But the people you talk to outside the
there's
arena
a
seem
hardcore
like
fan,
diehards.
but it's a Broncos town first. It's a Avalanche, a Colorado Avalanche city second.
No, is a part of that because they've been successful?
Absolutely.
Won some cups? Yeah.
The first year
Cups?
that they
Multiple?
moved,
Yeah.
multiple,
Yeah.
three.
Three.
First years after they moved
there you
from
go.
Quebec,
Nordiques.
they won the first year in 1995, 96,
that's
whatever
right.
it was, and then they won again, and then they won last year. So
Yeah, I knew that.
So speaking to the DNVR guys who have a podcast, who have a show there, they one of them, Brendan, said to me that they've had a generation of fans grow up be Avalanche fans as hockey fans because they got there and won, while the Nuggets, it ain't even been close.
No, not really.
So, but they definitely, the arena was absolutely rocking. I like Jamal Murray even said, I'm starting to see Jamal Murray jerseys out there as the series started up because I think this town is definitely jumping on the support, but they're not necessarily. There's a hardcore fan base, and that place was rocking. It was really, really loud.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. But yeah, they need to win. I think it's a basketball town, but it's being led by other teams.
Is the arena like downtown type arena?
Yeah,
or do
it's
you have
great.
to like go out? No?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
absolutely downtown.
good. Ooh, I love that.
You
That always
gotta
helps. So there's bars and everything around
Yes,
there. Oh, great,
yes,
Great.
it's fun. Yeah, I guess some of the other points there, like from a fan standpoint, surprising to me, the Heat fans travel. They were there.
There was some. Yeah.
Yeah.
Little pockets you could see.
Yeah, there was enough. Even they stayed around after the game. There was some competing chants, Heat in five, and then the Nuggets fans that hung out, would chant back after the game. Not a lot of people, but the fact that there's pockets of Heat fans in there, yeah, you saw it on the broadcast.
Yep.
And they were hanging around afterwards when Kyle Lowry was going up to the ESPN set, I guess it was. It was hilarious seeing Kyle Lowry in a towel. He came out of the locker room. He had something on top, whatever it was on top, but this big towel thing on the bottom. It's one of those elastic things that won't fall. It's not like a regular towel, but it was just weird seeing Kyle Lowry walking in the gym with a towel and flip flops, and you can see his ankles.
Kyle Towlery, as you shared on social.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to find one.
Well, you found it.
Yeah, I found it. It was decent, but yeah, just some quick points. Jokic doesn't like doing media. I think that being there, and we all sort of knew that, but it becomes more and more apparent when he's congratulating the staffer for ending the press conference early. It's like, oh, good job, man, good job.
Like get in, get out. Yeah,
he just doesn't like it. He doesn't like all the. He also just doesn't like the types of questions. I imagine he was basically saying between game 1 and game 2, I just can't wait to start playing basketball because all this is.
He's like, all this is noise. All this is nonsense.
And it's not good not good noise.
So, this is honestly, to circle back to something you said earlier, like, this is why he's never going to be the face of the league. Like, that mega superstar. This is a part of the game. I mean, that's like
debate.
very similar to Duncan. Not that he won't be considered one of the greatest of all time, just like Tim Duncan, but there are levels to this, and I think the final level is that you want to have to do all that and be in every commercial and do every presser and make waves with headline, right?
Yeah, not every presser, but you have to do more of the media.
You do.
I agree. It's not that English isn't his first language. I don't buy that at all. Giannis Antetokounmpo could be the face of the league if he continues to win. But we're sort of at this place here where there's an opportunity for someone to slide in there.
With LeBron, obviously.
Yeah, and Curry at this point.
Down.
I mean, I would say Curry would still be the face of the league if and when LeBron retires. But there's a slot here, but Jokic doesn't seem to want it. Curry does media. He plays the game. Mm-hmm. That's all you have to do is play the game if you want it. But he doesn't want it, like Tim Duncan. If he continues to win, is he going to be forced as the face of the league? Will we have no choice? Will fans have no choice? Will he be the face of the league if the Nuggets win
Tim Duncan won a whole lot, and we didn't really ever make him the quote-unquote face of the league.
He'd have to win more, I'd say, in a shorter period of time here.
That'd be like a dynasty.
Yeah, but anyway, it's an interesting conversation.
But he hates it.
But he's extremely funny, like Duncan.
Yeah.
He's got the dry sense of humor. And speaking of humor, Ken Jeong.
Oh, yeah.
As you guys talked about a lot. No, I didn't. I got really close. Not to talking to him, but really close to him. I think we have that clip, JD. Because I was just standing there watching him.
You're very close.
Watching him do selfies with everybody. And it's like, if you're watching now, he's just acting a fool. I just didn't know what he's doing. He's just opening his mouth. He's being really nice. He's like, thank you. I will do anything you want. I'll do anything you want. What do you want me to do in your selfie?
So he wasn't there for game 2, though.
What up with that?
Right. We talked about it here. We were how couldn't the Nuggets have him there? You win game 1. Don't mess with anything. Bring him back.
He had a surgery he had to attend. He's not a surgeon, but he's an MD.
He is an MD.
Anyway, maybe he's not. Maybe he is a surgeon. I don't know what type of doctor he is. I don't know
if he's still practicing.
Probably not. Ken Jeong just being there for hours after the game, at least an hour.
Really?
I'm guessing. He was chatting with everybody.
Oh, man.
That's why I was surprised he didn't come back for game 2.
Because he was loving it.
Yeah, it seemed like it.
Yeah.
Well, he paid for his own ticket. He's going to stay. I'm staying for an hour after. I'm getting there an hour early. I'm staying. How much did he spend on that?
We think 10K or
10K?
something for courtside seats. Was he sitting courtside? I think it was.
Maybe he just couldn't afford a second ticket.
It's possible. I said that. But the Nuggets should have ponied up and given him one.
I agree.
Yeah.
So the reports were that he bought a ticket?
That's what the reports were, yeah. Yeah. And
from Ticketmaster, not even StubHub.
People were upset we've been talking about him, and we haven't said the Denver Nuggets for Ken Jeong. So there you go, to that one person on Twitter who was upset we didn't say that. And fair enough. I can't believe we did it.
It was a good one.
The Denver report. Anything else? It's a good little breakdown.
Last thing. The big hats. The oversized hats.
Yeah, the noggin. The noggin bosses.
They are light and comfortable.
I loved this. This happened during game 1 on Playback. Tass jumping on, got a guy to give him his big hat, asked him if he could put it on, obviously did. I just love this photo so much because there's a photo of me just wearing a normal hat that I look exactly like this. And you look like a small child when you throw that on. But you liked it.
Yeah, it's hard to get that perspective of how big the hat is. I guess that's why I tried to film the person sitting beside him, the hat wearer with a regular hat wearer, because
well, it helps when you put it on.
it helps when you put it on and you do different angles, but it's ridiculously wide.
Was it light?
It's light. Yeah, it's very light. I don't know how they did it.
Did you buy anything in Denver? In the Nuggets shop? Anything?
No, there was a lineup. So I wasn't going to wait. Although our man Jerome jumped in there during gameplay and he said, I need to buy something.
He loves to buy something from a game.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. When we were walking in, he saw the lineup. He's like, I thought it was lineup for a concession or something. But he's like, yeah, I might jump in on this. I'm like, what? What do you mean? You're going to jump in a lineup? We got to do stuff. But he's like, oh, no, I'll go later when there's less of a lineup. And yeah, he did. He took advantage of this situation. He got the old that old logo.
Yeah, with the bearded,
the gold digger.
Yeah, right, with the axe and stuff like that.
Yes.
That's a cool logo.
It's,
like the ABA Nuggets.
Yeah. Long sleeve tee with that huge logo on it. Nice purchase. And he saw that the large hats were in there, I think.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure he said that. $100.
$100 for the noggin boss? Holy moly, that's steep.
Yep. There's a lot of hats out there, and as I told you on Playback, they had senior citizens, a bunch of ladies.
Yeah.
As a dance pack.
Yeah.
As a dance pack, all wearing them.
Did they tip them at some point or anything?
Rumor has it that they had to purchase them. They each had to shell out $100.
Oh, maybe they get a senior's discount in the store though. Maybe it's like $60 for them.
That was weird. So,
what was weird? Seeing an old person in a noggin boss?
Yeah.
I did want to know just quickly about the mountain biking.
Oh, right.
Because you're not a mountain biker.
No,
Had you ever even done it?
No. Yeah. I hadn't ridden a bike in an adult bike in a long time.
Did you put training wheels on your mountain bike going up there?
Just getting the hang of switching gears, dropping your seat. Bikes have evolved.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Was it fun though? Yeah.
Oh, so fun. My ass is still sore. Literally bruises, deep bruises in the crevices of my butt. It hurt. I wasn't good going down because that's when you're supposed to get off the bike, get off the seat and ride it a little bit, hunch.
But scary.
Drop the suspension. Yeah, I had to slow down. Like my legs are all cut up because I was getting off, putting my foot. The pedals kept cutting me. Because I just wasn't ready to ride the rocks. I mean, it's rocks. They're all rocks. The bike was incredible, but I didn't have an incredible. Yeah, Steve was great, but I didn't have wide grip handles. I couldn't get the great handling. Like I couldn't feel the handling with the really wide grip handles. But it was awesome. It was super.
So
fun.
If you did mountain biking in Denver, Trey, we got to get him on a Sea-Doo, I would say.
Yeah.
Right. Would that be the equivalent in Miami?
I guess, or paddleboarding.
Yeah, I need a little more speed.
I know, but Tass had to crank himself up a mountain.
That's true. A Sea-Doo is a lot easier, maybe. Okay.
Yeah, but Trey could get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. We want the possibility of him getting a little hurt.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, him on a Speedo out there for sure.
Yeah, if he's wearing the
Kenny
Speedo.
Power style, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yes.
There you go, Trey.
I'm fine with that.
If you're joining us here.
Because you have to actually, if you're doing like waves, you got to stand up on that thing too.
That's right.
So you could bruise your ass pretty badly.
Especially in a Speedo.
That's what we're going for.
Yes, when Trey comes back, we will be checking out and comparing bruised asses from these guys.
Yeah.
Game 3, Playback. Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Don't you worry, we'll be here tomorrow from the Classic Factory, but this is tomorrow night, Game 3. Join us live at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Thanks to everybody who's been swinging by, doing some fun numbers for these games, games 1 and 2. So let's keep it going, the good times for Game 3. And speaking of Playback, this just was released yesterday. It's on the iOS App Store. The Playback app, baby. I guess there was a sort of a beta version that only some people had. It's now accessible to all. We are featured there in the App Store. I'm dropping a fire take. Trey Kirby just saying something brutal that people are putting the ice cold snowflake up on them. But yeah, go check that out. Playback is now available in the iOS App Store.
I like how they boosted our numbers there. It shows you how many people are watching.
Oh, what did it say?
630. I don't know if that...
Oh, well, we did the Raptors-Bulls game. We
so
did
maybe
big,
they're not
big
lying.
numbers.
It was around that. It was around that.
Yes.
I actually used it for Games 1 and Games 2. I used the app. I wanted to see. I heard this rumor forever that the beta version was out. I just randomly checked before Game 1, and it was there for me. I didn't use the beta app, so I was using it the entire time. It was great. It worked extremely well. You guys could hear me the entire time.
I couldn't believe how well it worked.
Yeah.
I was like, you jumped on. I was like, oh, this is going to be brutal. You're not going to be able to hear us. It's going to be choppy, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Even with stadium Wi-Fi. Ballerina, we can make that a little better. There was a little hitchy, but it was a blast. Secondary screen experience.
Join us.
It was really fun.
Join us, guys, and go get that app, obviously, in the iOS App Store. Got to take one more break. When we come back, Tessie's got Tweet of the Night. Don't go anywhere.
If you've been looking for a coffee alternative or just a tasty, healthy drink, Mudwater could be for you. First thing I said when I opened the package was, this smells great. Then I said, why does it look like that? So I jumped in and made some mud. Mudwater is a coffee alternative that's brown in color because of its ingredients. It contains adaptogenic mushrooms and Ayurvedic herbs. My favorite ingredients are the cacao and chai because they make both a flavorful cup and provide just that hint of caffeine. With only a fraction of caffeine as a cup of coffee, you get energy without the jitters or crash of coffee. I take it with a little honey. Tastes like a yummy cup of tea to me. Mudwater also contains lion's mane to support focus, cordyceps to help support physical performance, chaga and reishi to support your immune system, and cinnamon for antioxidants. Mud is Whole30 approved, 100% USDA organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, vegan, and kosher certified. To get 15% off, go to mudwater.com/nodunks. That's MUDWTR.com/nodunks to support the show and use code NODUNKS for 15% off.
I'm here from downtown. I'm here on a mission of mercy. Put that coffee down, Shelley. Coffee is for closers. Okay, good. I'll sail. Ooh, another one. Shelley, haha, you're on fire! And scene. That's what it would sound like if the guys from Glengarry Glen Ross set up Shopify for their business. Can you imagine? The movie would be 5 minutes long. Forget the Glengarry leads, Shelley, and go get that operation for your daughter. Shopify is the commerce platform revolutionizing millions of businesses worldwide. Whether you're selling old-timey suspenders or sets of steak knives, Shopify simplifies selling online and in person so you can focus on successfully growing your business. You can customize your online store to your style, connect with new customers and drive growth, and even maintain the relationships that keep them coming back no matter how big you want to grow. Once you start selling, Shopify makes getting paid simple by instantly accepting every type of payment. Shopify grows with your business, no matter how far or big you grow. Thanks to an endless list of integrations and third-party apps, anything you can think of, from on-demand printing to accounting to chatbots, everything you need to revolutionize your business. You want marketing made simple? Shopify removes the guesswork with built-in tools that help you create, execute, and analyze your online marketing campaigns. Running a growing business means getting the insights you need wherever you are. With Shopify's single dashboard, you can manage orders, shipping, and payments from anywhere. Sign up for a $1 a month trial period at shopify.com/nodunks, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/nodunks to take your business to the next level today. Shopify.com/nodunks.
All right, let's start wrapping up this pod with some Tweet of the Night fun.
Tweet of the night. Wow. Twitter.
Are you ready to name some guys? Mm-hmm. Why I like this tweet? It just felt like the NBA offseason is here.
We're close.
Yeah, it felt like it was already here. June, July, people just start tweeting stuff. When there's no NBA basketball, there's just a lot of conversation about NBA adjacent type stuff.
Yeah,
like this one. Name a random 20-point per game scorer in the league that nobody talks about anymore. The thread was great.
Oh, I bet.
Just name some guys, but you have to get to 20 points.
Right.
Not 19.9.
Ooh, oh man, I'll have to check my one answer I wanted to say then.
Oh, okay. I'll throw some. Go have a check.
Well, did Mike James ever do it?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, Mike James.
With the Toronto
With the Raptors.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he got to 20 or if it was
I assume that was his only year.
20.3, and it was in 79 games in 05-06 when we were there.
Yeah, he had
watching.
He had the ball in his hands a lot.
Yes.
Mikey. Some great ones thrown out there. Kevin Martin was named a lot.
Yeah, that's a good one. Great one.
It was a bucket. Ricky Davis, he did it way back. Tyreek Evans in his first season. The only time he did it was his first season.
Wow.
He was Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
Some way back playbacks now. Ron Harper, Eddie Jones, Latrell Sprewell.
Oh, Latrell Sprewell. He was all NBA.
He was all-star.
Probably averaged like 25, didn't he? Let me check. Keep going.
Big Al, Al Jefferson. He was an Al.
Big Al. He made All NBA.
Mighty Mouse Damon Stoudemire.
Hell yeah. One of my faves.
It's just some
Sprewell averaged 24 points per game in the 96-97 with the Warriors.
Yeah, and that 04 team that he was a part of with KG and Sam Cassell, and then went to the conference finals and lost to the Lakers. That could have been a damn good team. Yeah, it's more fun to talk about the guys that just squeak, got to 20. Like somebody wrote Josh Howard, only 19.9. Not allowed in this stupid Twitter conversation. Hold on a sec. I just saw this name and I got to double check because this one is.
What do you got?
Did Ronald Flip Murray get to 20? No,
he had a stretch.
He had a stretch.
He had like a
months.
3-week stretch where he won or lost people fantasy basketball leagues. That's what happened with Flip Murray because I was playing in those days.
I do like the Larry Hughes inclusion. That's a good one.
Larry Hughes got to 20 per game?
He did it 1 year.
Wow, I would never have guessed that.
Just before he went to go play with LeBron.
It's a good one.
Played against LeBron.
With the Wizards?
Yeah, maybe they were a bullet then. 04, 05. But yeah, it was great. Great stuff. Just lots of fun going back. That's about it.
I like it.
Ben
I like
Gordon.
it if you just say someone that did 20 points per game once. Yeah. That's a key part. Like the guys we're naming for the most part. Well, no, Martin probably had way more than
Yeah, Martin did.
Yeah.
Dana Barros, another great one.
Yeah, good one.
94-95, his All-Star year, 20.6 points per game. His next highest, can you guess this? This is a great one.
Say it. What's
because
the
it's so rare. His next highest points per game total, besides his 20.6 year where he made the All-Star game. That's just crazy.
So it's like super
It's
low.
low, yeah.
12? I don't
Yeah,
know.
close. 13 points.
Wow.
That's a pretty big difference for a guy who played a decent amount. So, yeah, that's it. Ben Gordon, of course. Benny. Some great ones. Corey Maggette.
Do this tweet in 30 years from now, and you're going to be picking a lot of guys from this season, probably.
That's why you had to do it now.
They had 43 guys. 43 guys average over 20 points per game. It's insane. Feels insane, but 20 is not a lot anymore. But Terry Rozier will be a good one. In the future. Bojan Bogdanovic, sure. Might be a weird one. Yeah, a lot of these other names, they'll do it a couple times or have already done a couple times. Maybe Jordan Clarkson? 20.8 points per game. Simons, he'll go on to average 20 plus for probably 10 straight years now.
With the 3-point shot.
Yep.
David Lee. He did it twice, actually.
David Lee, wow.
Yeah.
He was maybe one-time All-Star?
Two times, surprisingly.
There you go. Fun tweet. Name some guys.
Name some
guys that scored for at least one season. More than you would have thought, at least. Some great names out there. Fun tweet of the night. Fun podcast. Hopefully a classic. You tell us. Like the video if you're joining us live or watching later. Subscribe to No Dunks on YouTube, especially so you can see all of TK and Jerome's YouTube shorts that'll be coming over the next couple days with them in Miami for the finals. Follow us across all the social media channels. We're talking the TikToks and the Twitters and the Instagrams. And if you're a podcast listener, leave us a 5-star rating and review. We will be back tomorrow. Probably do a little Game 3 finals preview. Talk what other else is happening in the NBA world.
Yes. Probably more basketball.
Yeah,
talk.
maybe. Well, look, hey, let's invite the questions right now to pour in. Maybe we'll hit the beach tomorrow. So send in your questions. Best way is through Twitter at NoDunksInc, that's INC on the end, or you can email them nodunks@theathletic.com. If you've got cues about the finals, about the off season, about the show, whatever, send them in. But we'll be here at 10 a.m. Eastern. Till then, Clipper Bros!
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us, and remember, this last name I'm going to say is a 20-point per game scorer. It's a little painful for Raptors fans. Andrea Bargnani.
Yeah.
Oof.
He was a bucket.
He was.
People forget about Andrea Bargnani. He's ahead of his time. Embrace the day, people.